If your family still doesn't trust you after addiction, they may not be wrong. But in this video, what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about the problem, and we're also going to break down the solution. I'm going to give you real steps to start rebuilding that trust back with your family, loved ones, and friends. If your family doesn't trust you after you put down the bottle, after you stop using those substances, you know they may not be wrong, because it's some of our past experiences or past things that we've done in their lives to still have them with some PTSD in their life, right? I know this sounds hard, but hear me out. You may be counting clean time or sober time. They may still be remembering the chaos. We have to remember, we disappeared a lot, right? We broke promises, we started lying, we did a lot of lying, right? And we also said that we were done many times. And then we still come back and ask people to start believing us before our behavior has caught up. Your clean time means something to you, but your family remembers what happens before the clean time. There's a chapter in the big book called the Family Afterwards. And what it reminds me is this: addiction didn't just affect me, it affected everybody connected to me. Addiction affected the whole house. The family had fear, right? I remember my mother used to say she didn't know when that phone rang that if it was going to be the police or somebody saying that I was dead or something like that. They were stressed out because they didn't know where I was a lot of times. If I looked at some of my last videos, I remember I talked about how my family did not know I was even alive for almost 9 years because I was homeless. I was all the way in another state. So I disappeared a lot, right? And the confusion of them not knowing if I was alive or passed away. This is very stressful for people that love you, because most of the time they just want us to get better. They don't hate us, they don't dislike us, they just want us to do better. They had to live with the old version of me for so long, so now they need to feel the safe version, a new version. Your family ain't crazy. Your family is not crazy for needing proof that you're going to be around, that you're sober now. In James 2:17, it says, faith without works is dead. And I look at trust the same way. If I say I've changed, but there are no works behind it, why should they believe it? What we have to learn is to keep it practical, right? Our faith, our recovery, our apology, and promises need action behind them. Words may start the conversation, but behavior carries the whole weight. Trust without works is just another promise. I ain't gonna do it no more. We all heard that and said that plenty of times. Some of us apologize so many times that apology, it lost its weight. You said sorry and did it again. You cried and still went back. You promised and still created chaos. So now another apology may not hit the same way. Your apology opened the door. Your behavior has to walk through the door. You could be sober and still not be trustworthy yet. Sober but still angry. Sober but still blaming other people. Sober but still selfish and self-centered. Sober but still showing up late. Sober but still emotionally immature. Still getting angry, still getting upset because people bring up past situations. That's why recovery is not enough. You have to become different. Clean time is not the same as changed behavior. Stop defending. Stop defending yourself every time they bring up what happened in the past. Don't say you always bring up the past. I'm not that person no more. Don't say I already apologized. Say something more mature, like this. I understand why you feel that way, and let them get it off. Start saying this. I understand why you feel that way. I was terrible. Or you can say, I know my words didn't mean much before. Or you can also say, I'm not asking you to trust me overnight. If their pain always turns into defense, you're still making it about you. Stop making big promises and start keeping small ones. Call when you say you're going to call. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Be on time. Pay what you said you're going to pay back. Tell the truth when lying could be so much easier. Big promises don't rebuild trust. Keeping promises do. Become predictable in a healthy way. In addiction, when we was out there in our madness, when we was doing all that crazy stuff, right? People didn't know what version of me was showing up. In recovery, they need to see steadiness, the same honesty, the same work ethic, same discipline, and the same respect. Trust comes back when your behavior stops surprising people in a bad way. Give people time without getting bitter. You got to remember that we have fixed ourselves. We've got into programs in recovery. We have sponsors. We go into meetings. We do service work, whatever you choose to do that helps keep you sober. But we are changing. That don't mean automatically they're going to change at the same speed. They have to see some type of long-term progress or some long-term different changes or behaviors in their lives, your connection with them, before they start believing you. So don't get bitter if they're not on the same road or they're not at the same pace that you are in. They may not trust you in 30 days. They might not trust you in 6 months. Some relationships takes years. You cannot control how fast they heal. You can control what you show them. That's the only thing you can do, is control what you show them. Be consistent over a period of time. For me, for my family, the ones that I hurt very dearly and I made amends to, it took over a year for them to stop worrying about me, stop calling me every few days and saying, what you doing, where you at, trusting me with money. And the biggest flex I got in recovery, that I show up for every family gathering if I'm not working, you know what I mean? And I even have family members that call me for advice. That's the craziest thing, because they've seen a pattern of me showing up and doing things correctly for a long period of time. Now they believe what's coming out of my mouth. We also have to understand that we have to rebuild trust with ourselves too. Before you broke trust with them, you broke trust with yourself. You told yourself you were done and went back so many times. Every honest decision now rebuilds something inside of you. It builds character. This is not just about getting them to trust you. It's about becoming trustworthy. So if your family still doesn't trust you after addiction, don't just ask, why don't they believe me? Ask, what am I showing them every day? Stop defending. Acknowledge the damage that we put into their lives. Keep promises small. Become predictable. Give them time. And rebuild trust with yourself. This is how trust starts coming back. No, not overnight, not through one apology, not through one emotional conversation, but day by day, decision by decision, pattern by pattern. If this information was useful to you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because over here we don't talk about just getting sober. We talk about rebuilding your life after addiction, the trust, the family, the discipline, the accountability, and the person you're becoming after this crisis in our life.